Love is it? This is perfect.
Bam! Cheers, man.
Cheers, dude.
Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
I really
I have no
appreciate
idea
it.
what I'm getting into, but
Well,
that's all right.
it's not too bad. Not too hot of a seat. Usually I've got another partner with me, another music producer from La Vida named Jake Bonham.
Cool. That name sounds familiar. Does he play in band? I mean,
He does.
Okay.
He was in a band called Danger Kids, and they like did the Warped Tour circuit, and like were like a real band for a while, and now he's just pretty much producing music up in La Vida,
Cool.
and that's where we've done a number of the episodes.
All right. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs?
You know,
Sweeping the Ottawa Senators tonight at 5 p.m.?
There we go. Bit of a hockey fan.
Yes, yeah. This is my favorite time of the year for sports, which is the beginning of playoff hockey.
Yes.
So next 2 months are awesome. Well, until the Leafs blow it, which they usually do
Standard
in the first couple
issue.
rounds. And then I root for the Oilers. And then when the Oilers blow it, I usually root for the Avs. This year, I'll probably root for the Caps as my third.
Okay.
Unless the Capitals beat the Maple Leafs.
Did a Canadian team win last year, or is that drought still going?
No, the last year was... who won last year? Was it
Was it the Florida team?
Was it the Panthers?
I think it was the Panthers.
They beat the Oilers.
Yes.
They were up 3-0, and then Edmonton came back to tie the series at 3, and then they lost in the fourth game.
Yes.
Which the Oilers are my second favorite team.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Couldn't
I'm
remember.
like loosely into hockey. I've always lived with someone who's a big hockey fan. And so, by proxy, I've become a little bit into hockey.
Nice.
I love going to a hockey game.
We got a little beer league well, we haven't played in a little while, but we have a little beer league in town, which is where Hockey Jesus comes from. The guy
Okay.
he's like the trophy for the winner of the
Nice.
little beer league that
Nice.
we play at Skateland. But I think this year we're going to do it in the summers, and we'll play at the little basketball court up the street.
Okay. Rad.
I'll let you know if you want to come join us.
Yeah, hey, I'm down.
Cool.
I'm down. I just got to read your hat here. My wife ran off with my best friend, and I miss it. It's great.
Classic.
Classic. Love a good hat.
Lets you know what kind of guy I am.
Yeah, there you
Don't even
go.
have to
There you
talk.
go. Absolutely. So we're here with Curt, the Trinidaddy,
That's me.
the dad of the Dad Lounge. How did you end up in Trinidad, Colorado, and the owner of this wonderful establishment? Best bar this side of the Mississippi, as far as I'm
thank you.
concerned.
So the short-ish answer to that is the pandemic, which is that we own a bar in Denver too, a venue there called the High Dive, with a couple other pals, Maddie Clark. Hi, Maddie. And then it shut us down. The pandemic shut us down for a little while, and my wife owned a salon in Denver, and it shut her down for a while and took our kid out of school, and we kind of just sat around depressed for a few months, and then we were like, this is our chance to not live in a big city, and which we had always wanted to do, take life a little bit easier. And so we made a list of places we wanted to move to. Trinidad was high up, because we put on this festival, the Honky Tonk Hodgepodge in northern New Mexico. So we would drive through here, and we really loved it. And so Trinidad was high up on the list. The other places were kind of around Arkansas mostly. And but looking back, we would have never been able to move to Arkansas because both our sets of parents live in Colorado, and they'd have killed us for taking the kid away from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, we came down to Trinidad, and we looked at a few buildings to put a venue into, and they set us up because this was the last one they showed us, and it was like, it didn't look quite as put together as this, but this room that's like feels like you're in the belly of a ship.
Yes, it does. The hole.
Like that. You know, you walked into the wood paneling and this lighting and all that stuff, and we were sold immediately. So we had an offer on this building like the day we walked into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And
kinda how it happened.
what's above it?
Well, it was that fancy hotel in town, meaning that every room had running water.
Okay.
So that was in 1906. And then it, like most of those old hotels, kind of became a brothel. And then it became apartments. And, there were hippies in the 70s that did weird stuff up there. And like all of those eras are up there still. It's kind of like, I describe it as sort of a dilapidated nightmare factory, but it's, when I take people up there, they're like, oh, it's kind of beautiful. It's a lot nicer than how I described it. But yeah, there's red light stuff up there. There's like see-through tiki showers. There's a cool room that has a giant red clawfoot tub. And if you've seen our bathrooms, there's interesting tile mosaic.
Yes.
So that guy did a tile mosaic upstairs too that's like tiny little bits of tile that's all around that red clawfoot tub. It's like a pirate scene. So that's cool. And then like there's a bunch of bar lights up there because the folks that owned this place before us in the 90s lived up there, and they just took the bar lights out of the bar, and was their lighting up there. So
you guys don't live up there?
No, we don't. We live about 7 blocks away.
I see. I was always under the impression, I just figured like, oh, Curt just came down from upstairs. I always thought you just lived above.
That's what all the beer delivery folks think too. But nope, I have to come down and meet people.
So the tile was already here.
The tile was already here.
The incredible mosaic. Is there anything like that in the women's bathroom?
No, you can check out the women's room. It's cool looking, not quite as cool as the men's room.
I'm definitely going to get a shot of the men's room.
Yeah, okay, cool.
For all of our
Kama Sutra,
mini listeners.
Kama Sutra stick figure tiles.
Yes.
Well done. Wait, I can't remember the guy's name. This is going to beat me up, but he did it in the 70s, and then we found him because a friend of ours, he saw the tiles and he's like, oh, my mom dated that guy. And so then we found out the guy's name who did that. But,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, so how long have you been in kind of like the venue business?
Well, we bought the High Dive in 2012, so that would have been the start of it. Before that, and during that time, I owned a bicycle shop. I grew up in a bicycle shop. My dad owned Green Tree Cyclery in Denver. Since he likes to say 1978, but it was in his garage in 78. So he opened the storefront on Pearl Street in 83. So that was the same year I was born. So I grew up fixing bikes, and then got out of college, didn't know what I was going to do, and I became a bike messenger for a while, and then that snowballed into me having a shop in downtown Denver, and then I had a bike shop for almost a decade, overlapped with the High Dive a little bit, but I saw myself becoming my dad too much, and so I was like, I'm going to transition to doing something else, and at the same time, we kind of needed a new booker at High Dive, and so I took over doing that.
Were you in bands growing up?
Yep, my first band was called Admire the Lunch Lady. I was the drummer. Admire the Lunch Lady was my high school.
And you were the drummer.
High school punk band. Yep. Mm-hmm. The drums were my first instrument. I drummed for that band, and then I drummed for a more well-known punk band in the aughts called the Taints.
The Taints.
The Taints. I have the tattoo.
Nice.
Everything.
That's how you know it's legit.
When we get into songwriting, the front man and main songwriter for the Taints, Joel Alley, is like a legendary Denver punk dude, and he is a great killer songwriter. He everything about punk songwriting that I love, Joel did it, and it was like it informed my punk songwriting a whole lot. It was just like he's very whimsical and would like to write songs as limericks and very political and just all the little jokes and quips and stuff that I love in my punk rock, Joel did too, and did it better than me. Did it better than I'll ever do, but definitely informed my writing a little bit.
Awesome. So a little bit of a punk mentor.
Yeah, totally.
And was he older than you?
Yeah, Joel is... I don't even want to say his exact age.
Well, you don't have to. He was still in high school when that happened. Were you out of?
No, I was out of high school. He's in his 50s. A funny story about that is Suzanne, her longtime boyfriend Suzanne and I have been married for almost 20. Well, we've been married for 17 years, together for almost 20 years, and her longtime boyfriend before me was the drummer for the Taints, and she kind of did not like the Taints. And then they broke up, and we started dating, and then Mike Bigga, the drummer, he moved to the Pacific Northwest, and they needed a drummer, and I was like, I'm going to drum for that band.
That's so perfect. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's part of like the Taints magic. Suzanne has to be with the drummer.
Yep. So then she got to hear 8 more years of the Taints.
There you go.
Yep.
Hell yeah. So did, playing in those bands growing up kind of inform your motivation to want to be on the venue side of it?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, I met all the people that we bought the High Dive with playing in the scene. So I also was a banjo player. I played in folk bands, and that's kind of how Suzanne and I got together. We played in a band together called the River Drifters, and we would play at the High Dive all through the aughts. The Taints and the River Drifters and other little projects would play at High Dive, and so we got to know all the managers and everything. When they went to buy it, then the 2 guys who I bought it with, they were like, needed a little pool of investors, and then I ended up being the biggest of that pool of investors, only because they were like, who do we know that like has money and is somewhat responsible? And like when we were in our, how old was I? 13, late 20s, early 30s, late 20s. They were like that. I was like the only dude they knew that had money and was somewhat responsible. So that's how I got into that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I got into it.
Badass, man.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you do an incredible job curating.
Thanks, man.
Music. I mean, like, exceptional. Definitely here. I've heard about the High Dive. Haven't had the pleasure of going there yet.
Yeah, they do a great job now. And when I left, I stressed to the new bookers that I was like, don't try and like book what I would book. That's stupid. Just go in and book your own taste. And they do. So like, it's changed since I was there. But they do a great job. And we did do, and they still do, like 260 or more shows a year.
Wow.
So this place is a total retirement job for me. It's, like maybe 100 shows a year, and a lot of them don't have openers. So it's like way, way less bands. So,
but quality.
Which is my biggest pet peeve, bands.
Yeah, you said that to me
bands.
A few weeks ago, and I was like, that's absolutely hilarious. And I actually love it. The guy like behind this venue, his pet peeve is bands.
Oh man, I hate them.
Yeah. You spend enough time around him. You're allowed to say that.
Yep. Yeah, my own and other ones. They're just fucking bands, man.
Fucking bands, man.
Yeah. But I can't get out.
Yeah, and once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a motorcycle.
Once you get out, it pulls you back in.
Yep, it does. Mm-hmm. It does indeed. So, how'd you make the transition, or when did it come from? You started out on drums.
Yeah.
And now you're in more of a guitar.
Yeah.
Role, I guess. How many bands are you in right now?
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
That like actually get together and practice in the pet peeve band form of a band, just townies and Southwestern egg rolls. I'm looking at the sticker right now, so I'll be on tour with Dylan Earl playing guitar in October, and I've played with him occasionally in the past. Yeah. He has an awesome new album coming out, so on Garhole Records. And, so if you're listening and you want to check out a great album, get that Dylan Earl one's going to be out in the next couple months. It's real good.
You going on tour with him? That's pretty awesome.
And then, awesome. So I'll play with him, and then the country band that I met Dylan that I was playing in before was called Hang Rounders. And Hang Rounders, we talk about getting together and we have put out 2 full-length albums, and we always talk about getting together and doing a third one, because like it was an unknown band when we were together, but then like since breaking up, like the Gems on VHS and Western AF things have all popped up, and they've that type of music has gotten more popular. They're like modern classic country music, so that band has gotten a little more popular along with it, even though we don't really exist anymore.
It's kind of a good band name for a band that like doesn't always exist.
Yeah,
Hang Rounders.
Yeah.
I gotta compliment you too. I mean, Townies I think is one of the best band names.
Thanks.
I've come across. I mean, I went to IU, Indiana University, and like in Bloomington, Indiana, it's like if you weren't a college student, you were a townie.
Yeah.
And that was just such like a ingrained thing. And when I heard the band name Townies, I was like, that's Genius.
Well, you know, I wish I could say that we were the first to think of it, but we aren't.
Fair enough.
And I
fair
Googled
enough.
it and I was like, oh, there's other townies, but they aren't famous yet. So as long as,
Yeah.
I feel now, band names are so hard. Fucking bands, man. But band names are so hard that it's like, if you come across one that you like and there's not another one named that's already like pretty damn well known, then it's fair game.
Fair
So
game.
sorry,
Absolutely.
fucking emo townies that live in LA or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one.
Also, the Taints is like a perfect punk band name.
That's the logo is.
I mean, I can like hear the music just from the name.
Yeah, well, Shit Beer, the Townie song, is a Taints cover.
Okay, there you go.
That was originally
Rad.
a Taints song, so that'll give you an idea of what it sounds like. Townie's one of the first shirt designs we did was, being an Indiana guy, was that Cutters from Breaking
Okay.
Away. So we turned that into
I was wondering
a
if you
Townie
would
shirt.
know a little bit about Little 500
Oh, of
and
course.
like from the bike world, and like I was in a band for like 15 years, and the guy I started that band with, similar story to you, his dad owned a bike shop in Broad Ripple, Indianapolis. He grew up, working for that bike shop, and he was all bikes, and we went. He immediately got a job. First guy when he moved to LA to have a job because he walked in Helen Cycles in LA and was hired there, day of because he's a bike mechanic. He does this, and
Yeah,
so I've been a little bit exposed to the bike world through him.
cool.
And then living in Bloomington, Little 500's huge, but that's cool. Little Cutters
Yeah.
theme.
I like a lot of us, I keep a long running list of like when I hear something, I'm like, oh, that would make a good band name. So
Yeah.
you write it down, and we've had some good ones. Susanna and I played the first little folksy band that we played in. So to answer your question about drums and getting to guitar, banjo was I went from drums to banjo, mostly because in college I didn't have a drum kit. And we had a banjo in my parents' closet. I took it and fixed it up, and I knew it's kind of percussive instrument, so that one translated a little easier. And then I was like, oh, strings are cool. And then I got into overdrive and distortion and pedals and got a little more serious about rock and roll, and then wanted to play guitar. Band name wise though, on banjo, the first band that I played in with Suzanne was called Pillage My Village, which I always thought that was a good band name.
That is
And
great.
then a little rapey though.
A little rapey.
And then Suzanne and I played in a cross-dressing rock band called Dude Babes.
Dude Babes.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, which our claim to fame was Macaulay Culkin's band, the pizza-themed Velvet Underground cover band that he played in.
Okay.
They opened for us in South by Southwest.
Wow.
So that was funny. Got to meet Macaulay.
There you go.
He was not too cool,
Fair.
but it was an odd. We were playing in like a leather daddy gay bar, and I was in a dress. And,
Yeah, interesting place to meet somebody
Yeah.
under those circumstances. We'll give Macaulay a little bit of a
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah, and I don't know what type. He didn't seem like he was in a very good place in his life. He was playing a pizza box. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
Yeah.
he's in a better place now.
But yeah. There's some great band names around Denver. Ethan McCarthy is an old friend who plays in the band Primitive Man, which is a great band name. He's always so good at band names. He played in a band called Clinging to the Trees of a Forest Fire. I'm like, man, that's a good heavy metal band.
Yeah,
name.
that's like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Heavy metal, all really long names.
Yeah, there's kind of a gothy band in Denver. I don't think they're around anymore, but they were called No Gossip in Braille. And I'm like, man, that's a good band name. So
That is good.
yeah,
And you probably, through your history, there's got to be like just so many band names you've come across.
yeah. How about this one? This is Dylan Earl turned us on to this one, and the band was already defunct when we heard about it. But Suzanne and I were eating at this taco place having a very similar conversation with Dylan, and he's like, okay, best band name ever. This band was called Jefferson Boat.
There you go. Jefferson Bud. Classic.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like that's once you're in like your second band, the rest of your life is plagued with just like, oh, band name called it. Like as soon as you hear it, you can't let it go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I saw a flyer. I have no idea what this band sounds like, but I saw a flyer recently where a band was called Infinite Coachella.
Infinite Coachella. God almighty. It's, I can't even imagine. It's probably just like getting raped on everything in the Palm Desert. I
Yeah.
can't imagine what that sounds like, Infinite Coachella. I never want to go go to Coachella.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely it's time. It's now just like, do you have the money to say you were there?
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole point of it.
We were gonna so the pandemic sort of broke Hang-Arounders up, but right before the pandemic hit in March, in April, we were supposed to go play Stagecoach. Are you familiar with that festival?
Absolutely.
The country Coachella?
I lived in La Quinta for a while,
Okay.
so like everything over there at the Polo
I was
Grounds.
I was so excited to play it because I was like, oh man, we're gonna go play with all these pop country folks and like see the cast of The Bachelor and shit.
Yes.
So
yes.
that was the biggest bummer concert that got canceled because of the pandemic.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn pandemic. But, I mean, that's why I'm here, really.
I mean, I'm sure I would have hated it.
Yeah.
It would have been everything I hate about bands and audiences all combined.
Yes, it would have been. Yes, yes, indeed. It would have been a one and done thing for you. But it would have been, like your Vietnam,
Yeah.
It's worth going in there and fighting that battle.
All right, you were going to tell me a good band name.
Junk Drawer.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I don't have a band that it's related to. It just, Junk Drawer is always like, everyone's got a junk drawer.
And it's kind of sexual.
Yes, yes it is. Yes it is, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm still waiting for the right guys to come together for me to start Junk Drawer.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, haven't found them yet. But yeah, the pandemic is kind of how I ended up here too. I had the property in Aguilar in 2017, but I was like, I'm going to build a shipping container studio, and that I'll just have bands come out to, once or twice a year, and like I'll never live there. Like this will never actually be my life.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have a girlfriend or anything at the time. I just like, there's just no way that's what's going to end up happening. And then like Rachel and I got together, and then the pandemic hit. She's like, you have all that land out there. Like what? Why are we not just going out there and building a house?
Cool.
And then it's just like, I was like, I guess there's nothing else better to do. Let's try it.
Okay, did you accidentally start a fire out there and the fire department had to come out and get mad at you?
No.
Okay.
But my neighbor definitely did.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Because Patrick, one of the volunteer firefighters, he was in here and he's like, I think that dude, because we were talking about the fest. He's like, I think that dude might be the guy that started a fire out there. The fire chief already doesn't like him. And I was like, uh-oh, this fest is going to be weird.
Oh, no, that was my neighbor. Well, see, here's the thing.
Okay, I'll set him straight.
Set him straight. Yeah, that was Tom. You remember Tom, probably. Wore a lot of pink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, Tom of all trades. So I knew him
Yeah.
from L.A., and I'm the reason he ended up out there. But he was burning cardboard in a barrel. Like, it wasn't like a big deal.
Uh-huh.
But our super stoner hippie neighbor, like, thought no one was there.
Okay.
Called the fire chief on him. Those guys were so mad. Like, and I get it. Like, I mean, I'm not against the fire department side of things. I was like, this guy was doing it right. But, I know how that goes. But yeah.
Okay, we'll set the record straight.
Let's set the record straight.
Okay.
No,
We're getting down to brass tacks.
combustibles here
Yeah.
on my property. It should
This
be
is
all
a different.
safe.
This is a different podcast than you thought we were getting into.
But yeah, man, oh man. I hope that's my biggest worry is that I'm gonna have some fire chief or police chief conversations that day at the festival.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. It'll probably go okay.
I think it'll go okay.
Yeah.
Private event.
Yeah.
I don't need to come on. I'm not gonna start any fires.
No.
Yeah.
All 20 people that attend, they're not gonna
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's
We're
that's
gonna
the
sell
hope.
some tickets.
I'm thinking it's gonna be like, a big wedding. I think I'm going to be able to get 120 people.
Well, just band member wise, it's going to be.
At band member wise, we're basically almost at 50 people.
Okay.
Right? So it's like each band's going to have another 5 people that are going to come. I think it's going to work. We'll just see. I've had a good amount of people like reaching out, asking me questions, saying they're coming, but like, yeah, in this part of the world too, like pre-sale, like I just feel like it's going to be day of. Once people really believe it actually is happening.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, come on, it's here. Like people are here, their bands are playing, and then I'll get the pour over.
Totally.
So.
I will back that because pre-sales don't move so much here.
Yeah.
Like even the stuff that's pretty big for our town in this place, we don't do many in pre-sales.
Yeah.
And then they come out majorly day of.
It's just like I gotta have the website and the option to buy for the people who are coming from out of town.
Totally.
And just to give it that I've had like 5 vendors reach out. Like just make it seem real. I gotta have all that stuff
We've only
in place.
had maybe 2 or 3 shows here where we were sold out and at capacity enough that we were turning people away at the door. And it's just like the town, nothing sells out. So it's like they don't understand sold out at all.
For sure.
Yeah.
And people are like
So
counting their
pre-sales-
paychecks around here. They're just
Totally.
like, I'll worry about that,
Yeah.
August 1st.
Yeah, so pre-sales aren't really a thing. So I would not worry. Agreed.
I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Even if just the band show up, it's gonna be a fucking hoedown.
I'm excited.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Have you toured much?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the longest tour you ever been on?
I don't like to do real long, maybe Hangarounders probably did 3 weeks or so
That's
out.
the right.
But even then, that's too long. I like the townies do, the longest we go out for is, 5 days or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's like,
It's a good little
yeah,
loop.
plus we have a kid in this place and it's like, it's really difficult for us to be gone for more than a week.
100%.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Hangarounders was probably the most touring band. And we did a few a year.
Okay.
But then, yeah, Dude Babes got around, Taints would tour. So I've gotten to play, at least in the U.S., I've gotten to play like most of the venues that I consider legendary.
Yeah.
Taints got to play Gilman, and that was really cool. And then country-wise, I mean, Hangarounders played most of the cool little honky tonks around the U.S. So.
Hell yeah, man. Did that give you an appreciation for touring bands and like kind of what they need and?
I have zero appreciation for bands.
Yes, I love it. Okay, perfect. I feel like though, like most bands leave here feeling like they got treated well.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And it's like bands that play this size, if you're the type of band, the size of band that could play here, even if in the most people's perception, like some of the biggish bands that play here are like, oh, well, they've kind of made it, And it's like, when you get down to brass tacks and how much it costs to like live and travel around and be, 4 dudes in a van or whatever, it's like, you got to make a lot of, you can't tour around and play places this size and like make a good living.
No.
It's a hard life.
Yes.
So yes, it gives me an appreciation that it's hard out there, and folks like Suzanne and I, the best we can offer is like, it's like pay as well as you can, treat them well, give them as many drinks as the bar can afford, and give them a place to stay. And it's like, that's our goal, and like make them, do a home cooked meal and make a band feel at home and comfortable for a night. And that I know from experience that it's like, if you get a night like that, it's like, it can get you through the next 2 or 3 nights of shit.
Absolutely.
Of just fucking sleeping in a sleeping bag in the van.
Yeah, just curled up in the
Yeah.
corner of a metal tube.
Yeah.
Making it through, and hopefully you ate that day.
Yeah.
Yep. How'd you guys come up with the White Castle Pringle Beer
I
combo?
always wanted to do it at High Dive because it's the same type of thing where it's like we only serve food because it's the law, so it's like just bar snacks. And I was like, we should get more. High Dive will just grab whatever chips are on sale, And I was like, I think it would be a thing if we got a little more imaginative with our bar snacks. And but I could never convince the other owners that we should do it. So as soon as we were here, I was like,
Boom.
White Castle sliders and Pringles.
It's the perfect combo.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That being available is just like saved me on so many different Friday nights where I'm just
Yeah.
like, I just need just a little sustenance to keep this going.
Yeah, and it's like, for our deal, I just think it's such a funny and fun deal that we do Pringles, White Castles, 2 White Castle sliders, and a Coors for $6.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, we're probably paying you to eat that,
Just about.
It's
Just
like,
about.
I don't think we make any money off that deal, but it makes me giggle, so that's
The
fine.
fact that it exists is just like a profound thing
Yeah.
in America in these days.
Yeah,
You
totally.
can get 2 sliders, a thing of Pringles, and a beer for under $6 or just $6 is just like,
Yeah.
you know. So fuck yeah. Good on you for that. Want to tell you thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'll be keeping them coming. All right. As we before we transition over to kind of songwriting, what is like? How do you get yourself in the creative zone? And like, has songwriting always been something you did like from your first band, or did you kind of like, you know, at first you were just drums, you didn't worry about writing any songs, and did that develop as you got older?
Definitely in that high school punk band that I played drums in, I didn't care about songwriting at all. I just wanted to beat on the drums.
It'd be loud, make
Jordan
noise.
did the writing, and I'm sure he'd be terribly embarrassed about the shit that he wrote back then. But yeah, let's see. I got into it when I started to play the folk music and just like looking more into folk and Americana and trying to write what's real and around me and shit that I've experienced, you know? Like Townies, it's, you know, it's not all that deep, but it's just like fun and funny, and I like to piss people off and, you know, turn phrases. And that punk writing to me is very different than, like, if you go back and look at the Hangrounders stuff, it's a lot of pretty serious content, and the singer in that band, Jono, he and I were kind of the lyrical songwriting team. He did more of it, but I wrote a handful of songs, and then I'd help him fill out choruses and verses and stuff like that. And he was really good at writing about homesickness. I think that was like, that's what a lot of those Hangrounders songs are about. And it's like, it's something that the way that he would phrase things, you just couldn't help but relate to it, you know? And it's like, I'd marvel at how well he could put the feeling of homesickness into every song, you know? So that's kind of what Hangrounders was all about. And then Townie's far less serious. That's just like, you know, Jazz is for Assholes, which is a song I'm pretty proud of. But it's like, and of course, like, I'm actually a jazz fan. It's just funny to turn the phrases. Just like I'm a Beatles fan, but I don't like the Beatles. We live in Boomerville here, you know, a retired white guy Boomerville. And it's just funny to be like, fuck the Beatles. And then just see the reaction you get, you know? But more that song, and my sentiment there is about like the Beatles getting frickin' slammed down your throat when you're our age, you know, by the generation ahead of us. And then Jazz is for Assholes, you know, lines like, I don't like Miles Davis, he makes me kind of blue. And as for Charlie Mingus, well, he's pretty awful too. It's like,
it's great.
It just makes me crack up.
Yeah, it's good. Know? It's good comedy. It's good to just, you know, there's an inherent difference to like, you know, punk music obviously to country, but the reason you're writing it, it's like, you like to piss people off. Like getting that reaction there's some joy in that, and there's purpose in getting that kind of stuff out. That's like a good release. Yeah, my favorite when we're just looking at punk music, I'd have a very different answer when I'm looking at wider genres. But just punk music, I love the writing of Leaving. Fear is like, everything he wrote is so fucking funny and good. You know, I know he's not that PC now, but he's very funny. And then, you know, Circle Jerks wrote great lyrics, and MDC writes great lyrics. Dead Milkmen are like, you know, that's what I attempt to stylize my writing around. If you had to pigeonhole me, I would say that like I do my punk writing right, or try and get into that Dead Milkman zone, or like Violent Femmes. You know, those are. I'm like, what would Gordon, you know, write here, you know? So that kind of stuff. Jello Biafra, you know, his voice annoys the hell out of me, but he's a killer punk writer. Hey, I mean, if you can get through someone's voice you don't like just because the lyrics are that good, like, you know, let's say you're a student. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When your song's coming on for you, like, I guess, do you go in, you're like, I'm writing a punk song? Or do you get inspiration and you know, like, oh, this is going to be more of a folk song, this is going to be more of a punk song? How does that kind of inspiration hit you? A little of both. Usually I wake up, so most of the lyrics, the ideas, the first seed of the idea for a song will come to me in the middle of, like, I'll be in those early morning hours when you wake up to fret about your life, you know? Like, that's when the
I kind of maybe use it as a little bit of a mental trick where I'm like, oh, you know, it'd be a fun or funny song. Or if it's, sometimes I wake up and like, I'll have the whole, like a verse or a chorus all done. I'm like, oh, okay. And it just, I have to get myself to pick up my phone and type it all down, you know. But if it's something serious, then usually I don't even think about what band it would be for, you know. I'll just write it and file it away. And maybe someday when I'm strumming a guitar, I'll be like, oh, I should pull those lyrics out and see if I can, you know, put together a progression for it. But for punk, a spark of an idea will hit, like a line will hit, or I'll be like, man, it would be funny to write a song that's anti-Beatles, you know? And then I think like, where do I want to go with that? I'm like, it should be funny to call John Lennon a chode in this song, you know? And then I write a verse where I get to do that. And so, yeah, the punk is definitely more deliberate where I'm like, I'm going to write a punk song. And also, when something in politics pisses me off, or I see some injustice, and I'm like, oh man, fuck that! I got to turn that, especially an injustice where it's so wide that everyone can see it and relate to it easily. And I'm like, man, nobody's really written a song about that. I should write a song about this shitty thing that's going on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
And that has been a whole lot easier with the state of the world lately.
Yeah, it seems like punk song's the only thing coming out of me these days. So.
Yeah, so, yeah. I guess that's the way that I approach songwriting. And then as far as progressions go, especially if I'm like listening to some old song that I'm like, oh, this has like an interesting turn or does some interesting modulation, key change in there or whatever, I'll just fucking copy that progression and write a song.
As I get older,
that
that's like a thing, and I've
progression
like,
that I do.
There's that, I don't know who said it, but it's like, you know, steal anything, steal everything that like inspires you. Someone said something like that, and it's like, as I get older, I've had to come to terms with like, oh, it's totally okay.
Of course.
As I was younger, I was like, it's got to be so original.
Oh, especially
no one's ever heard anything like that. And I'm like, the more I try that, the more I make terrible music that no one likes. But when I'm just like, you know what? I've got something that's just like the song, you know, I'm going to just fucking straight rip it off.
Yeah, in Townies, it's like, Townies is not a riff-based band. Every now and again, we'll be at practice and we'll just start playing on some riff and that makes it into a song. But Townies is mostly like, it's a Ramones style, like just a progression-based band, you know? So it's like, we're not doing anything new. And it's like, for instance, I keep going back to the Beatles song, but the Beatles song, it's like, the progression on that, and a lot of the songs on the first Townies album, it was like, not only did the songs sound like some band, but they purposely did. It was like, this is our Dead Milkman song. This is our, you know, Dead Kennedys song. This is our Fear song. This is our Avengers type song, you know, that type of thing. So if you go, this is our Cramps song. So if you go listen to that album, you'll be able to be like, oh, this is the band that they're ripping off here. The Beatles song, it's like, all I did was it's the Love Me Do progression. It's just put into punk, maybe changed around a little bit, but it's the same chords. And, but yeah, it's all been done a million times. So
yeah,
especially if you're not trying to write the craziest riffs, then it's like, and it's just pretty straightforward pop, blues, punk progressions.
Exactly. It's all been done before.
Yep.
And like that's been something that's been so serviceable and like informative of my songwriting. Just like, dude, don't be afraid to just straight rip that off. You like those chords? Look them up. What are they? It's fine. No one's gonna know.
Yeah, 1, 4, 5 relative minor song.
Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
Print it. How do you like when a song's developing? How do you like to kind of like demo it? I mean, because like, you know, is it a voice note, immediately start to capture it? I got a songwriter buddy of mine who's playing at the festival who used to be like big time gearhead, record everything perfect, but now he's like, I don't record a song until I play it so often that it's all memorized. I don't write anything down anymore. It just has to hit me so much that it's like, I know this is a song. If I lose it to the ether and forget about it, then it wasn't good enough anyways.
I'm lucky that Suzanne has a really good ear for, and she'll listen to something and be like, that part sucks, or like, the whole thing sucks, you know? So she'll tell me what to change off the bat. And she's also, I'm not a good singer. So I kind of force her to do the singing. And sometimes she likes that and sometimes she doesn't. But usually I'll do like a phone recording of just the meat and potato stuff. All I do is the first chorus. It's no ideas for bridges or anything, especially if it's for one of the bands. All that stuff will come later, and then we all bounce what we think the bridge should sound like and breaks and add all the character to the song later, So usually it's just like I'll have a couple verses and the chorus, and it's a 50-second recording.
Yep.
And I send that around, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll chew on this for a bit, and then we get together. And,
boom.
Yeah.
Is there any riffs you've been chewing on lately?
Not really.
Okay.
We'll see what comes out.
Perfect. So we're just starting a clean slate here.
Sure.
Kind of got an improv blank page.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there probably is riffs. I don't know.
I'm sure there are. I just didn't know if there was something, that's just been in, an earworm lately that you've been like trying to figure out that you wanted to fuck with, or
yeah. I don't know if I'm that kind of writer. Usually I write the lyrics first, and then I put the music after. Yeah. Well, I've been working on because I'm going on this Dylan tour, and I think this album's going to be kind of big-ish for him. So I'll have to play country music in front of people again that I don't know. I've been working on my country chops. What am I playing?
Are you playing banjo? You playing?
Oh, playing guitar.
String? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have played with him before. Now
for sure.
I feel like this is going to be.
He was in the Hang Rounders, right?
No.
Okay.
He's always just been Dylan. His band is called And the Reasons Why, but it's just Dylan Earl.
Dylan Earl, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple of times. Seen him here. Saw him when he did the film festival. He played at the Spaghetti and Westerns.
I played. Oh, okay. Yep, that's right. We put him on that one. And then he played at the Fox. There's a video of that online. I actually played synthesizer on one song during that. It was a weird recording.
Hell yeah. No, I love Dylan. He's really great. I actually asked him, never heard back on his website, but he's a busy guy. But yeah, no, he's exceptional. Mm-hmm. One of a kind.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, I love all the gadgets.
Yeah.
So you were telling me earlier, like, when you're getting a demo put together and you get an idea, you're just trying to get the meat and potatoes, just like first chorus. So I think that's the goal. It's just like, let's try to put something together that's just like get some meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I don't really write like that, so we're not gonna.
Okay, that's fine.
On demand.
Well, not on demand. Yeah, I mean, I just can't be like, dance monkey. I understand that, but I mean, like, is there anything you want to work on or try to, or we can
I
just
told you this was going to be the disappointing part of the podcast.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm going to force you through it.
Okay. I mean,
I could like get a little 3-piece going or something up here.
Oh, I mean, we got drums right there. I guess we didn't talk about that. I also played, both Suzanne and I play in a Devo tribute band.
Oh, really?
Well, do you want to play the blues because we're in Trinidad?
That works. If you're coming in without any inspiration from, the creator above, or however it gets beamed to you.
I've been working on an egg roll song, I guess, recently. That is has a lot of sevenths in it, so very sort of country, weird country. It's sort of Zevon. I guess I wrote it around being kind of a Zevon-y song. The little riff is like this. that's the verse parts all about you in Playboy magazine.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then it's let's go out for a midnight ride. I'll veer off the bridge if you say you want to fly. And it's because I'm crazy about you. All my doctors agree. And I'd love you to death if your attorneys would let me.
Ooh.
And that line's very Zevon-y because he's always loving to talk about attorneys, lawyers, guns, and money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it, man.
And then there's a long bridge in there that's very creepy because the bridge is I went by your house last night, but you weren't home. How do you sleep in that room so cold, so alone? And that it just sticks on minors. So it's like, well, my house last night, but yeah. How do you sleep in that room so cold, so alone? Long pause, stare. Long pause and stare is important. Coming out of the bridge, and then it goes back into the.
So
that's the only one I'm working on, and we're putting that together for egg rolls middle of this month. And I don't sing, so it'll be Kyle singing that one.
How have you played it with the egg rolls yet?
Yeah, I mean we've just messed around with it maybe twice. We made it. I think we've made it all the way through the song.
Okay.
One time.
Okay. There you go.
If you